What is going on, guys? I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm gonna be counting down the top 5 best hot swappable mechanical keyboards. I'm gonna be going from the worst of the best at number 5 down to the best of the best at number 1. And if at any point during the video, if you wanna check out any of the 5 keyboards in this video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys, but let's jump in to number 5. And this is the Yunzi KC84. This is a super awesome keyboard, and it is a 75% form factor, which is great for saving space, but also having a ton of usability because you still get all of those function keys as well as your arrow keys. Now, this is obviously fully hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches, and this comes stock with black, blue, brown, or red Gateron switches. Now, moving to build quality, this is where it could be a little bit better. It's mostly plastic construction except for the top metal deck, but besides that, it sounds a little bit hollow and it definitely could be heavier. This uses USB-C for connectivity, and the biggest pro of this keyboard, besides it being fully hot swappable and everything else, is that it comes stock form with die-sub PBT keycaps, which are actually super nice. You get 3 different options, so check the Amazon listing below if you are interested in this keyboard, because there's 3 different keys that you can get, but they're all die-sub PBT. So basically, if you get this and you're building your build, if you don't want to have to buy keycaps, this is a big pro with this keyboard because it comes with very nice ones. RGB is really good. It's bright, it's got good vibrancy, and a ton of different modes. It is a little expensive at 90 to 95 bucks for that build quality. However, you are getting those keycaps with it, so you'll have to weigh that yourself. Moving into the number 4 spot, this is a more normal size keyboard. This is the Wamir K87. This is a TKL or 10 keyless keyboard. Very, very usable form factor. Now, this is obviously fully hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. The switches that come stock, you have the option of blues, reds, browns, silver speeds, or yellows. And these are all Gateron mechanical switches. All right, now the build quality is where this thing is super, super unique. It is made of 3 pieces of this semi-translucent acrylic that the RGB just glows through, and you can see kind of into the PCB. It's really, really cool, very unique. And actually, it's way more like sturdy and like strong than I would think for being like acrylic. It does use a detachable USB-C cable for connectivity. All right, now obviously the biggest pro of this keyboard is that insane RGB. And if you did like I did, I modded this thing with some pudding keycaps. Absolutely make this thing insane, especially in like a dark room when you're gaming in the dark or just typing away in the dark. It is such a cool feeling to have that thing just like shining everywhere. It's crazy. And it's actually not too expensive at only 86 bucks for everything that you get. Hot swappable, crazy RGB, semi-translucent body. I think it's a pretty good price. All right, moving to the number 3 spot. This is the GK61. This is a 60% form factor. Probably right now the most popular form factor of any mechanical keyboard. This is fantastic for saving space and also great for gamers. All right, this is hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches only if you get the Gateron mechanical switches. There's a ton of different switch options, a ton of different color options, but you have to get the mechanical Gateron switches to be able to have this thing be hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. Otherwise, it'll just be hot swappable with other optical switches. So get those mechanical switches. You can choose from black, brown, red, blue, silent brown, and yellow. And those are all only the mechanical switches. There are other optical switches, but just go with those mechanical switches. Build quality is good, it's fairly generic, and it does sound a little hollow. However, it's very easily moddable, which is awesome. So if you guys wanna get into swapping out your switches and modding your keyboards a little bit, this is a great one for starting into modding, really awesome. You can also choose from like 6 different colors for the case of it, which is awesome. All right, RGB is typical. It's got good vibrancy. It's got a ton of different modes, perky lighting, pretty much what you would expect at this price point. This thing starts at only 70 bucks, making it probably one of the best inexpensive 60% keyboards to mod. All right, moving to the number 2 spot. This is the Royal Royal Kludge RK84. This is a 75% form factor, which is, again, is less popular with like non-enthusiasts, but is a really usable form factor, and it saves space at the same time. Really one of my favorite form factors out there. This is obviously hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches, and it comes stock with TTKS4 switches. You can get these in brown, red, or blue switches. All right, build quality is great. It is very solid. All the plastics are really high quality. It's heavy and it feels very solid to type on. It doesn't sound that hollow. All right, now let's talk connectivity. This uses a detachable USB-C cable for connectivity. And if you use the detachable USB-C cable, that will give you 2 Type A USBs to be either charge your phone, plug in a mouse, plug in headphones, basically whatever you want, which is so cool. But that's not it. This also has Bluetooth, so you can connect it to anything wirelessly Bluetooth. And that's not even it yet. It also gives you a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle, which, if you don't know, is much better for gaming if you want to game wirelessly. So connectivity is huge, and for gamers, this is a great keyboard. All right, now a really cool thing is this has a detachable skirt around it. You just pop it up, and this makes it really easy to like custom paint it and then put it back on. It's really cool that it just has that. Also, if you just don't like the way the skirt looks and you just want it to be a float on top keyboard with the switches just floating up there, then you can definitely do it like that. But I think it's so cool that you can just pop it off, spray paint it if you want, mod it super quickly. It makes it a really cool way, an easy way to just personalize it right off the bat. All right, the RGB is really good. It's got tons of colors, good vibrancy, tons of modes, everything like that. However, it is not as bright as number 1. And it's very surprising, actually. All right, now this thing costs only $80, which is amazing for everything that it gives you. And especially if you want to do something like wireless connectivity or wireless gaming, this thing is awesome for that. All right, moving to the number 1 spot, the best keyboard on this list. This is the LTC Nimbleback. This keyboard blew me away. So this is a 65% form factor, so it's saving almost as much space as a 60%, but it gives you a little bit more usability because it does have those arrow keys, which for me, the 65% form factor is absolutely my favorite form factor out there, period. All right, now obviously this is hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. It comes stock with Hono switches that you can either get red, blue, or brown switches in. All right, build quality is great. It's strong, it's solid, it's very rigid. It also was quite a bit heavier than I was expecting the keyboard to be. It could use some dampening, but it doesn't come off as hollow. Now for connectivity, this uses a USB-C cable, but just like the RK84, this has 2 powered USB Type A ports. So you can charge your phone, again, plug in a mouse, plug in some headphones, thumb drive, whatever you want. That's so cool. And also similar to the RK84, there's a lot of similarities. This has a detachable skirt kind of thing. This is a little bit more intrusive than the one on the RK84 because it kind of covers more of the keyboard, which is actually really cool because you're really changing how this thing looks. And for customizing it and painting it, I think this would pop a little bit more from the keyboard because it does actually come over the top of it. But yeah, it looks really cool with the skirt on it, and I think it looks cool with it off as well. All right, RGB is really good, like surprisingly good. It is brighter than the RK84, and the RK84 is quite a bit more expensive than this keyboard. It's got a ton of different colors, good vibrancy, tons of modes. Really, really brighter than I was expecting. You could definitely put pudding keycaps on this thing and it would look epic. All right, but the biggest pro of this keyboard is it takes all of that and it puts it into a price point that is insanely affordable at $50 for a fully hot swappable keyboard with great RGB and really good build quality. Absolutely mind blown. The LTC Nimbleback is absolutely the best one on the list. Again, guys, if you want to check out any of the 5 keyboards in this video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys, but any of the 5 keyboards on this list would be a fantastic pickup if you guys want to get into modding, or you just want to switch out your switches for specific switches that you guys want, or if you just want to test out switches, or if you want to future-proof your keyboard, so you want to get a keyboard that you might not upgrade now, but you want to in the future. All of those are really good reasons to pick from any of these 5, but these are the best 5 that I have found for hot swapping while also keeping a budget. I was debating on whether calling this a budget one, but some of these keyboards are a little bit up there, and I try to keep, like when I call a top 5 list budget, I try to keep it super budget. Obviously the LTC Nimbleback definitely is easy on the wallet. For 50 bucks, that thing is crazy. But yeah, this is Consumer Tech Review. If you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy other content, keyboard videos, top 5 videos, top 10 videos, tech videos, I do a ton of those, so please consider subscribing below. But this was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys in the next video.